It's noon on a Thursday, and guess what? It is time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good afternoon, right? Noon. Yeah, good afternoon on a
Weird.
Thursday. Welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts. This is Kristin Odell of Grow with KLO. I'm Tina Prigge of Vagabond Creative Studio. Thank you so much to Just Orthodontics for sponsoring these cool conversations.
I have a delicious seltzer from Aldi right now.
Okay, it's interesting, right? So this is a time that we don't normally do the show. We're at noon. And I didn't even think about it before we chose this time, but we're like mom trepreneurs, right? We're in the midst of our days. Like fortunately, I remembered to stop my heads down work and jump on, right? And then you jumped on too, and we were talking about typically when we do this at 8:30, we're just kicking off of our day. And
Right.
here it's kind of in the middle of the day, and we both had like some on-the-go lunch, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I think when we started, it's like the kickoff today. So it's like the catalyst. We're both still drinking coffee at that time, right? I'm well beyond my caffeine window at this point. So I'm switching over to seltzer or water for the afternoon. And I almost had to, this sounds like horrible, but like treat this like an appointment I have during the day. Right. So I'm like, oh, I've got to meet with Tina at noon today. I can't be late for that very important meeting with Tina. Right. So it is. But so my lunch on the go was a delicious pack of tuna creations. This isn't my whole lunch, by the way, guys. I just was really starving when I got back home from my morning. So this is what I grabbed to eat very quickly. Tina, what was your on the go grab?
yeah, my on the go is yogurt.
There
I'm
you
a
go.
huge cherry fan, and I find a yogurt just tides me over nicely. Now, it's funny. What do you think about eating on the go? I sort of wish our culture was a little slower paced, where lunch was more of a real thing. And maybe it's just because we're like momtrepreneurs that we feel like we have to rush, but I feel like it's kind of like our society encourages us to quick take 15 minutes, stand up, eat your lunch, get back to what you were doing.
I almost feel like all meals have gotten to be that, like with the number and the variety of like kids activities that are available now, kids are doing that, which maybe I'm not a fan of that. We still try to do family dinner. And I think we've talked about this a couple of times. Now, I would say I try to do a good mix of like the days when I have lunch on the go versus like we're going to sit down and eat lunch. Either that's because I have lunch appointments with somebody where I'm pausing to have a meal, or like sometimes Doug and I'll grab lunch. And I think that just makes for a nicer pause.
Yeah.
But
Viewers, tell us if you're eating lunch on the go, what are some of the things that are tiding you over? What are your go-tos? You know, Kristin had the tuna creations. I've got the yogurt. I would love more suggestions in the mix.
hey, I just want to point out that we both chose protein. So just saying, there's something about pure energy that comes when you get some protein in there.
You know, speaking of protein, eggs are protein, right?
Eggs are protein.
So we're just about at the Easter holiday. Yes, Kristin. So when I was looking for images for the show, there's this picture of Kristin. I'm pretty sure you were doing air quotes, but
Yeah.
it looks like you're singing the "Here Comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail."
Hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way.
Which got me on a whole Easter kick. And then that made me realize this is the season of like the terrifying Easter bunny pictures. I'm just going to
You have some
breeze
good
through
ones.
So I could totally relate to that kid. Look at that look on
I
that
feel like
kid.
this one, the costume itself is not bad, but it's like the down look, evil, like almost Joker-esque look that is freaking me out about this one.
Yeah. Right. Because essentially it should almost feel cozy. It's almost like it's made out of a baby's blanket anyway, but
Yes. Okay.
the look on that little girl's face. This, I just can't even imagine how this passed.
No, this feels Asian centric to me.
Mm,
You know, like war mask, or I'm trying to think of some examples of that you would see even
yeah.
in like Japanese or Chinese music.
Right. Like a Japanese kabuki style mask or
Yes.
something. I can see that. Creepy though. Ah!
I mustache you a question, Tina.
So whose eyes are bigger, the rabbit or that little kid?
I was gonna say, yeah, his ears are, oh boy. Oh, the teeth and the eyes are so scary.
This little girl, I don't know who she is, but she is still having nightmares, I'm
She's
confident.
she is saying that whatever the toddler version of WTF is what that child is saying.
It's amazing that the Easter Bunny has lasted as kind of an icon based on the number of kids that have had these experiences.
This one looks like it got too close to the fireplace.
Right.
It looks like it's melting.
It's kind of funny that the kids' faces almost resemble the rabbits' faces.
Yes, I understand.
Oh, and then look at this, it's not scary at all. I love this,
No,
Kristin.
I know, that's definitely a little bit better. Let's see
So,
you, Tina. Did you find
viewers,
one?
we thought you would need to like refresh your palate after seeing all of those scary pictures. So hopefully this is not too scary for you.
Tina, do you guys have any big plans for the Easter holiday weekend?
So my parents are going to come over and we're just going to celebrate Easter together. Jason's going to make a meal. I don't know what it is. At first, everyone was talking about ham, and then I'm like, but I don't really love a ham. And my mom's like, well, I don't really love a ham either. And Jason's like, I don't really love a ham either. I'm like, why are we talking about making a ham?
Yes,
So,
we are having ham, but we like ham. So we're gonna do brunch though on Saturday. We're gonna switch it up a little bit.
oh,
We're
nice.
gonna host at our house on Saturday and do brunch, and then on Sunday we're actually, so there's a lot of sunrise services kind of up and down the lakeshore. Presbyterian does one. Grace UCC from Inch Rivers does one at Neshota Beach, and Faith Church does one at Red Arrow. So we're gonna probably hit Red Arrow at like 6 a.m. on Easter morning and watch the sun come up.
What a cool experience.
It really is. It really is cool. But other than that, I think it's gonna just kind of be a low tone, easy peasy weekend, hopefully. After cooking,
Yeah.
of course. Cooking, I have to cook for brunch. So once that's behind me, it'll be good.
You know, the weather prediction sounds pretty nice for Sunday too. So I'm hoping it means we can be outside, maybe go for an after dinner walk, just no snow.
Yeah. There's been Easter mornings for sunrise service where it's been very chilly. So that would be great if it was a little bit warmer.
Yeah. How does it work? Do you sit in your cars for that? Do you gather on the beach?
Not on the beach, usually on the parking lot, kind of right up at the top at Red Arrow, and people play music and there's a little service and we watch the sun come up together. It's just really, regardless of where you go, I'm sure all of those churches are going to do an amazing job, but to sit and like share your faith and watch the sun come up at the same time is pretty inspiring.
Yeah. I would love more gatherings like that. Not necessarily even faith-based, but just let's have this morning kind of routine where we watch the sunrise and share it together.
It's very meditative, very
Okay.
peaceful also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk the opposite of peaceful. It sounds like you guys had a cool entertainment experience. Let me grab this image and put it up.
Yeah, so I don't, this is not a good picture, but we bid on a like ticket package at the girls fundraiser last month. And in that ticket package were these tickets to this, it was called Cirque Alfonso at the PAC in Appleton, which if you've ever been to that theater, again, an amazing, super cool little theater. This was essentially like a circus with live music and singing and acrobatics and balancing and just funny things, definitely for all ages. So I took the girls on Thursday night. We won 4 tickets. We had these amazing seats. Like we were elevated, the girls could see everything, but it was really, really, really cool. And they're like, one of the things I think that stood out most to the girls was one of these guys was holding this huge pole like on his shoulder, like he had it notched in his shoulder, and then the pole went up like 13 feet from there, and a man crawled up the rungs of this ladder and like hung out at the top, and the girls were like freaking out.
Yeah.
And then in that picture there's like this huge tire. They were doing tricks like standing on top of that and doing flips and different things, and It was very entertaining. We had a great time. It was like super rainy and crappy last Thursday, and
Mm.
we were a little bit worried about making the trip over to Appleton, but it was totally worth it. It was so much fun.
Ah, so cool. I love hearing that. We had a pretty cool entertainment experience too, and it was also high energy and, really exciting performance. It's Yamato Taiko Drummers of Japan. So this is at the Door County Auditorium. I love, I'm a Japanophile, right? I love Japanese culture. And when I lived in Japan, I had a couple of chances to see Japanese taiko, and it is amazing. They're actually billed as musician athletes because of what they do, right? They've got these big sticks and they're wailing on these drums, and it's just so musical and entertaining. Anyway, if you look in the way back left corner, you can recognize Jason in his white shirt and black vest. But so this is after a 2-hour performance, and look at the intensity and the energy on their faces. It just gives you an idea of how incredible the performance was.
They look like they're still having a great time. Like, and again, like that's just, they look muscular and built. Like that's one of the things we were talking about with these acrobatics. Like, look at what they're doing with their bodies. This is insane, just so much fun. And just to see a variety. So how did you find out about this show in Door County?
Yeah, luckily, for some reason, it came across my Facebook feed. It's not a place that I was following. I didn't even know about it. I've never seen a show there. But as soon as I saw Japanese taiko drummers and that it was in our neck of the woods, I was like, oh, we're going.
Where is the Door County Theater, in case people are watching, they're wondering?
Fish Creek. And it's actually a really nice little auditorium. I would definitely see something there again.
Very cute. Like I love some of those little auditoriums because you can see.
Yeah.
Like there's not a bad seat in the house.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely cool.
So you must have been talking out loud about Japan or something, and then the phone is like, Facebook is like, here, let me show you this Japanese show near you.
I think you're absolutely right. It's unsettling when that happens. I mean, I like the convenience, like, thank you, but stop listening.
Right.
There's a Siri speaker in our kitchen, and it's cool because you say like, hey Siri, and then it'll respond and like play music or whatever. But the other day, Teek and I were talking, and like nobody said Siri, nobody said hey, and she's like, I didn't get that. Let's repeat that. And we're like, whoa, why are you even awake?
Doug had that experience at yoga last Saturday, where we went to 7:30 yoga at Waves. It's hot yoga with Pete. We're in the middle of the practice, and Suri said, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you. And Pete, because he's awesome, was like, yes, I'd be happy to repeat that for you. And like everybody rolled with it. We all had a good little chuckle. Doug took his watch off and like put it on the floor because he's like, no, do not interrupt my meditative yoga experience.
Stop listening to me.
Stop listening.
I get it. I get it if it's triggered when you specifically say, hey, Siri, or hey, Alexa. I'm okay with that. I'm just not okay with it constantly being on.
Yeah, I know. This is the world we live in. The phone is smarter than you are.
Hey, I'm glad to see you did your civic duty and you had a little helper.
I did. And look at the flag. It's like reaching out, like flipping in the wind.
It's like reaching out to give you a high five.
I know. Again, you guys, like voting is something, first of all, that not all countries and places get to do. We are very fortunate to be able to get to go and vote. Second of all, as females, not every place do women get to vote. And so it's something that my mom always took us. We always went with her to vote. And I don't even know if she was doing it intentionally, but we got to go along, and I definitely am thoughtful about trying to take the girls with me. So Nora happened to have her homework done on that night, so she got to go with me, but Josie got to go with Doug when he got home from work. And so, yeah. And again, regardless of, whether who you voted for, like if it worked out the way you want or not, like just taking the action of saying like, this is what I believe, or this is my point of view, and being able to exercise your right to do it, I think is just really, really valuable.
Yeah, so important to demonstrate that. And I love the fact that you guys got your I voted stickers.
We
Now,
did.
it's funny because I went to vote and then I came back to the office and you happened to be here. You were working with Jason on a project, but my polling location was out of stickers. So Jason quickly made me my own sticker. We had some fun with that.
First of all, like, I don't know how you are out of stickers. Like that was fairly early in the day. Like, shame. But second of all, can we just stop? I went back and looked at this picture after the fact. Look at Jason drew this in like a second, and now he's a very talented artist, but look at the flag. Like if I drew a flag, it would be a rectangle, first of all. I'll just say
Right.
that.
Yep.
It would be a perfect rectangle. Second of all, it has movement. It's got the stars. It's so cute. And I love that it's ginormous.
The wave of the flag kind of reminds me of the flag in the picture that you have, right? Like it's waving.
Right. Basically, that was like this half sheet of paper stuck to Tina's chest. Did you wear it the rest of the day? That's what I
I
want.
didn't. I didn't.
Come on.
I did stick it on my wall though, so I still have it.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so let's talk a little PSA. Let's insert a little PSA here because there is a drug take back day. It's a national day, and locally it's coordinated through like the Metro Drug Unit and Holy Family Memorial and the Recycling Center and Healthiest Manitowoc County Substance Use Prevention. What's important about this is, first of all, it's a drive-through, so it's super easy to participate in. And it's a great way to get your unused or your expired medications out of your house and into the hands of, the authorities that will safely dispose of it. That means it's not going into our water system. It's not, you don't want to put it in the trash because then again, it can end up in the environment. And it also takes away any temptation or danger of kids coming across it and using it. Or, if you're like me, reaching for something before you've put your glasses on and getting the wrong thing or something, right? So it's happening Saturday, April 22nd, 9 a.m. to noon. All they suggest is the original containers that the stuff comes in. Just dump it into a plastic bag. Don't even bring the original containers. Put it in a plastic baggie. No questions asked. When you show up, you just drop it off.
Yeah, and I think the other cool is this isn't just like pill prescription medication. It says on there like ointments, sprays, and inhalers, like vials, even pet medications. You can get rid of all of that stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm really bad about going through like our medicine and first aid cabinet. Like we have stuff that's expired. I know we do. And so I'm going to take some time before this day to kind of dig through my cabinet and make sure that we have all kind of good stuff.
Yeah, which is great. And especially like if it's an over-the-counter medication and it's expired, it's not helping when you need, whatever relief that's providing too. So
Right. So, and then I just want to mention, because it does have a do not bring. Can you pop that?
oh yeah.
So biohazardous materials, mercury, household hazardous waste. I'm sure you can think of all kinds of things, but like they don't want paint as an example. No needles or sharps. There's other ways to get rid of those. Batteries, electronics, and personal hygiene products. So it really is just medication related items.
Now, John Reisenbuchler at the Recycling Center did mention that maybe in a month or so, you'd have to check for those dates, that they are planning a hazardous waste collection. So if you do have some hazardous waste that you need to get rid of, just pay attention to what the Recycling Center has going on, and then you'll be able to participate in that date.
Public service announcement.
Over. Well, you know what? I have one more. Oh my gosh. So do you know where this is? Can you tell based on?
I know those faces in the back, so I know that is Petskill Brewing. But tell us more. What are we looking at?
Okay, here's why I'm sharing this. That is a brat. It is a freshly made brat. So the guy in the background giving the bunny ears for Easter literally cased the brat that morning, right? And then it was made on site at Petskill. It's served on a bakery on state bun. It has homemade fried kraut from Petskill. And then that mustard is stone ground mustard created by Chef Andrew Dunbar specifically for these brats. So it's this whole like local collaboration. I had a chance to eat one and it was possibly the best brat I ever had in my life.
What is the red on there?
That's ketchup and that's optional.
Okay.
That's optional, but.
Is this an item on the menu all of the time?
No, but they have Thursday brew house brat night or something like that. So today is Thursday. So that's why I'm telling you that today's the day to get it if you want it. And hopefully Thursdays throughout the summer.
There you go. Well, that sounds amazing. I love that it's made right there and that the buns are local. Like that looks really good.
Even special mustard, right? Like that's not French's. That's not even Grey Poupon. That was literally made for those brats.
No Grey Poupon here. Oh, so I saw Pat Walsh popped on. Good afternoon,
Yeah.
Pat. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon, Pat. What do you think about this time of day? Mm. Have you already eaten your lunch?
So, one thing I am thinking about is, I had to kind of pause my normal workday, and this is kind of a nice break. Like, I feel like I'm going to leave this more fully energized, which when I do coaching with people, self-care comes up a lot for the people I work with.
Yeah.
And either that's because they've put it on the back burner or they just don't have like the inner willpower to make them do it. But maybe there's a lesson in this, and like we should be blocking our calendars and, you know, taking some time to eat mindfully, which we talked about at the Women's Summit. Like when you're shoveling the tuna packet in your face 5 minutes before the show, that's not necessarily mindful, right? And like maybe even on a day like it's very windy today, but the sun is shining, like sneak in a 10-minute walk, just kind of, reset the day.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. But and I do agree that I feel like I'm going to hit the afternoon far more energized than normally based on this.
So here's 3 tips for you if you're watching this and you're like, I'm terrible at spending my own time. So here's the thing. First of all, block the time, make the time. Second of all, choose a healthy snack or meal to give you some energy. And 3, share that time with a friend or colleague. How about that?
Yeah, I love that. I love that advice too, to schedule the time. Like give yourself that gift of making it important enough to put it right on your calendar.
Hmm. We talked about this at the gym. Maybe it was on Monday. Somebody said, I love working out in the morning. I go at 6. They said, I love going in the morning because nobody has needed anything from me yet. It's only time for myself. So this woman works, so she has colleagues, she's a mom, she's a wife, right? All these things. She's a dog mom. And I was like, yeah, that's why I go at 6 too. Because I haven't, like, this is just like I'm setting this hour aside just to work on me.
Self-care, so
Right.
important.
Yeah. And then I'm like ready to give everybody my all after that. So
Yeah. Hey, one thing I wanted to bring up. So we're moms, right? And I feel like it's important to try to keep engaged with our kids. And so mine is, nearly done with high school. So I've got like a late stage teen. And I feel like the teen years, it's been, the most challenging to figure out, right? How to stay in touch and stay in tune. And one of the things we talk about are memes. And he'll like show me these memes. I'm like, how is that even funny? Like, you have to explain the joke. And sometimes he will, and it'll be like layers deep, like, well, this is funny because of this other meme that was popular, which was funny because of this, I'm like, oh, I didn't know any of that backstory.
right.
But he and his friend created a meme. They were like passing them back and forth. I'm like, okay, show me. Why are these funny? I just have one and I do think it's funny. So like this one I got, right? So there's a heavy item, falls. And then my steel-toed OSHA approved work boot. And it has the look of his face, just that satisfied. The work boot's like, oh yeah, I got this.
What is on his tie in the picture? Can we look at it?
Oh, yeah. There is a Japanese anime called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And in it, one of the characters wears this exact same tie.
I'm just gonna say that I feel like the face on the tie matches some of those Easter Bunny pictures we looked at earlier.
See, we've got an ongoing theme.
Uh,
It's
do
like Easter
they
bunnies all day.
do they share these on social and do they gain ground?
So they don't. They're not like social media users. They're Snapchatters.
Yeah.
So like they've got their own little groups and things like that. And
So they're sending them to each other, but it's not on the public domain. They're not.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
And
think
they're sending them to each other. And unless they're screen capturing them, they're disappearing after they access them.
is meme creation a job or is meme creation a pastime?
Well,
Like, do
I'm
people get paid to meme create?
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't know
sure
either.
in some segment, maybe I could see that. Maybe.
I wanna know if you know this answer. If you watch a show, even if it's on replay, throw us a comment so we know you watched. We love that. Tell us, like, does anybody know the answer to this?
Yeah. Yeah. Is it like one studio that's just churning out all of the memes that cross the internet? Or no, I think it's probably a lot of independent
Mhm. Right.
folks that just, as a
Again,
passion.
as something funny happens, you, like, create, right?
Like, here's another meme I just happen to have. I saved this one because so Jason's been filling in on the morning radio show. And when he has chatter with Damon Ryan, who's also in the studio, each day they like to bandy about some dad jokes, right? Usually a real groaner, but like, classic dad jokes. So I saw this meme. The guy says, I like to tell dad jokes. And the lady says, does he laugh?
Go home. Do you think that was a pickup line? Look at the meme. They're young.
They are young.
Like, that doesn't look like a dad. It looks like a young man and a young lady, and he's like, "I like to tell dad jokes," and she's like, "Is that supposed to be cool?"
Yeah, it did not work. If it was supposed to be a pickup line, it did not work.
Oh, I love it. So,
And then,
Tina, look, the reindeer and the trees are gone.
your whole office seems flipped today. Is your camera reversed or did you like change your position? Because isn't that cabinet usually over your other shoulder?
I don't think so.
Huh.
Maybe it's like normally you see this. Does that feel better?
No, I feel like the whole setup is usually switched.
Nope.
Maybe it's just
You're
because I'm in a different locale
not.
today.
This lamp, do you guys do this? We should talk about this. We've never talked about this before. This lamp was like in our living room, but I liked this bench because people stop and take their shoes on and off by the front door. And I'm like, ooh, I think a little bench here would be cute with the zip pillows. So I brought this lamp in because I needed something tall to like make it work. And we have this beautiful Prigge. Do you like my pointing?
I do. You're so good.
I feel like it's working. I have this beautiful Prigge painting, and it needs light at night.
Oh,
So we're trying it.
it's great. So before, was there like some sort of credenza that was there?
There was a bench, like a little end table or like a sofa table there. So I just move things around. Like I just grab. Sorry, there's some groceries getting delivered now because here's another efficiency tip from Kristin Odell. When you're running around like a crazy person doing appointments, you just have your groceries dropped off on your porch.
Nice.
Not all the time, but sometimes it's worth the money just to have them show up.
Nice. Yeah, very nice. And
Anyway, back to what I was talking about. There's Reggie's tail. So we just grab furniture and like move it around sometimes. Like, oh, I'm going to try this end table here, or oh, this bedside table might look cool there. Do you do this?
I love that. I think it's fun to like, I don't know, rearrange, right? It gives it a whole different vibe, a different feel.
Well, right. And it also, like, I like angling the furniture different also, because then it feels like I got new furniture, even though I did it.
We've done that a few times too, where we've put the TV like in a different place and then it allows you to rearrange things.
Yes. I don't really like, we have a built in, sorry, can you hear that? It's really annoying. We have like a built in for our TV, so we can't necessarily move the TV, but we try to move furniture around it just to have it kind of look and feel different. It just freshens things up.
Do you sometimes do it just to see if anyone's noticed?
Probably not. I kind of do it seasonally because I get sick of it. Like I want something fresh, and I just feel like moving the furniture around or moving like a little table or a statue or a lamp or just having something different like refreshes everything and makes it feel new even though there's not really anything new
Yeah.
in space.
It's probably a good way to kind of deep clean too, right? Like if you never move something, it's really hard to make sure it's clean around it, right? So like if you're treating yourself and allowing yourself to shuffle things about, it's a great opportunity to just like vacuum it, dust it, whatever.
Yes, I do agree with that. When we moved the tables around, we found lots of dust bunnies and other things laying and hanging out underneath. So
Hey, I just wanted to say one last thing before we have to go and get on with our day. A friend was traveling. They were in Europe and they took this picture and sent it. Just, because we're Vagabond Creative Studio, I thought that was really sweet. Zero connection, but I love that they were thinking of us.
I love that too. And look at like the diamond pattern on the wall is kind of like your logo, even, I feel like.
Ah, fun. Yeah.
Very cool. Is the number 51 significant to you at all?
Ooh, good question. Not that I can think of.
You think about it, and then we can talk about it next week on the show.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Viewers, thanks so much for joining us. Do join us next week. I do have, now that it's April showers, we've got a cool umbrella that we're going to have for a giveaway. So we'll tell you more next week.
Wednesday morning, 8:30.
Join us. Yeah, and let us know what you thought about this new time. I would love to know.
Have a fabulous Easter and weekend, guys.
Happy Easter, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
See ya.